morning, MBA fans and friends. Back again this morning with another episode of the Investor Spotlight. I'm Nicole Wilson. I serve as the Vice President of Economic Development here at the Midland Business Alliance. And joining me today, Jon Lauderbach, Executive Partner with Warner Norcross.
Good morning.
Yes, thanks for joining me.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, my favorite question to dive into is, what is your why? And by that, I mean, you have such incredibly deep roots here in Midland and, certainly have been here and contributed to the community in so many ways. But also you have an incredible pedigree behind you, having served as a former judge and broad litigative experience, and you have opportunity anywhere. So why Midland?
Well, that's exactly why. Because I'm very fortunate in the role I'm in now to have a law practice that extends throughout, Michigan and well beyond. But I get to live here in Midland. I get to live where I grew up. I get to live in a community that I love, where I know my neighbors, where I can come to the farmer's market, where I can come to a concert on Friday night. Aaron and I went to dinner at 118 a week ago Friday night. There were 3,000 people on Main Street for a concert. It was fantastic. I get to by day I get to go to see other places and go to courthouses throughout Michigan, and at the end of the day I come back to Midland and put my head on the pillow here and wake up in our beloved Midland.
Absolutely. So help me to root this in a little bit of history. So as I said, you have, deep roots here in Midland, born and raised. Yeah.
Actually born in Bay City.
Okay.
We came here.
Not too far.
Right. Yeah, I'm a child of the Great Lakes Bay region, what we used to call the Tri-Cities. Yeah. My grandpa was in the milk business and started out as a milkman delivering milk from a horse-drawn wagon in Saginaw in 1919, and over the years he bought the dairy and had dairies in Bay City, where the Uptown site is now.
Okay. Right.
And the dairy in Midland was where the Midland Public Schools bus garage is. So he delivered milk to restaurants and grocery stores throughout the Great Lakes Bay region. My dad remembers, washing the milk trucks when he was in high school, and my folks, when they got married, my dad was working for a bank in Bay City. And our family moved to Midland in 1973 when my dad took a job at Chemical Bank, and the rest is history. So I've been here ever since.
Wow. So truly a child of the Great Lakes Bay region. I love it. I love it. So one of the best pieces about Midland that we hear from our younger talent as well as our employers is the accessibility of leadership. And, there's always someone to help you along your professional journey. And we all know in our careers, we run into those unanticipated challenges or a time when you really have to level up. So I like to pose this question around maybe what was an unanticipated challenge you encountered in your journey, and how did you handle it? And were you able to draw on kind of those local mentors that are so accessible?
Yeah. When I was I'd probably been practicing law about 5 years. There were some big changes at my law firm. Some of the experienced lawyers that had worked at the firm had moved on into other roles. And I think I still have mentors. There are still people that I pick up the phone and call when I have a question. Back then, the need was particularly acute. There were some things I was uncertain about professionally, and there's currently a federal judge in Bay City who was a Midland County Circuit judge before I was, who had worked at my law firm before he was on the bench. And he always took my phone calls and was always happy to answer questions and offer guidance. There were other lawyers in town that I knew who I could pick up the phone. And we all need to be able to say, hey, I don't know. I'm not sure how to handle this situation, or I don't know what I'm doing. Can you give me some guidance? And the fact that they would take the call and spend 15 or 20 minutes talking through something was immensely helpful. I try to do that now. I try to, pay it forward and do that whenever given the opportunity.
Sure. Wonderful. So I think across the Warner Norcross team, I've encountered, obviously in our work, we overlap quite a bit, but I'd love the opportunity if there's anything, especially, important with the team that's happening, or if you'd like to introduce a little bit about the firm and the size here in Midland. That's great.
Sure. Warner Norcross is based in Grand Rapids. The firm was founded in Grand Rapids in 1931, kind of grew up with the furniture business in West Michigan.
Sure.
And we are a business law firm. We're not all things to all people. There are a lot of things that we don't do that other service providers are great at. We represent the owners and decision makers in business enterprises to help provide a service that they can't otherwise get locally. We, in all of the markets in which we serve, again, Grand Rapids being the home base, but having 9 offices throughout Michigan, we partner with the MBAs of the other communities that we're in because we find that this is a great way to supplement the service offerings to our clients. The MBA does a great job of providing timely and informative programming for the business community, and that's really what we try to do, is be business advisors to try to help clients navigate regulatory changes and challenges in the relationship between us and government. We think it's really important to understand that. We've really appreciated this partnership with the MBA and Issues and Answers, and helping provide that little extra something for the clients that we serve.
Absolutely, and certainly we've appreciated your guidance as we've navigated some interesting things over the last 5 years. Yes, absolutely. So being a Midlander, we all have our favorite hidden gems around the community, and so I don't want you to give away any secret spots, maybe, but where's your the best burger in town? Or
Best burger in town is actually Bryn Star has a fabulous olive burger. It's this really unique olive tapenade on this burger. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, way to go, Bryn Star. Last question I'll bug you with today is there a book or a podcast or a source of kind of evergreen content that you really like to rely on or go back to, or a leader you listen to quite a bit?
I'm actually reading. I'm in the middle of 3 books right now, all about President Gerald Ford.
Interesting.
And I'm not sure why now.
Sure.
President Ford was the first president that I remember in my lifetime. I remember my friend Rick Craven's mom had a button on her coat that said, "I'm for Betty's husband." And I didn't understand what it meant, and so she explained who Betty Ford was and who Gerald Ford was, and I became aware that, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, that there's a president of the United States.
Sure.
And I think, I've always admired, President Ford knew what he believed in. He knew what he stood for. You can agree with it or disagree with it, but he knew at all times what was right, and I've just kind of been refocusing on that style of leadership of,
Sure.
Knowing what you believe in, and whether people agree or disagree, plotting the course you think is appropriate and taking it.
I appreciate that. Sage wisdom, for sure. Well, thank you for joining me this morning. I hope it wasn't too painful. And
It's been fun.
always glad to have you around the office.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.